Hi, and welcome back to the show. Today we're joined by Liv Montgomery. She's coming to us from Seattle, Washington, and she is a speaker and author and the operator of livmontgomery.com. Thanks very much for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having me here. It's an honor to be here.
Well, Liv Montgomery is an engaging personality as a consultant, certified hypnotist, and author of 37 books on mind, power, and communication. She offers concrete tools and techniques that empower people to use their minds more effectively in leadership, business, and life. Liv helps people create a clear vision of what they want, step beyond the crowd, and decisively move forward on a path to their chosen destiny. Teaching a step-by-step system, Liv helps you enhance creativity, develop laser-like mental focus, engage your memory, learn more quickly, communicate more clearly, and put it all into action. Whether you're looking to triple the bottom line of your business, create a new thought movement, or discover the means to conquer stubborn obstacles, her techniques can help you uncover the genius that lives inside you and put your life in turbocharge. So thank you very much for kind of joining us. And this sounds exciting. I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
It is very exciting.
Well, our guests, I'm sure, are going to benefit from this. So, well, first of all, we've seen that the self-growth movement has helped millions of people around the globe to get a handle of their lives, get back on track, and even achieve some pretty lofty goals. But critics of the motivational industry say that the change doesn't last. People get excited about a new idea or method, but once the excitement wears off, they revert to their old ways. Is radical change really possible for people?
Well, that's a great question. And the answer lies at the juncture of science, philosophy, and spirituality. And in fact, it's at the core of evolution itself. So mankind has asked this question for thousands of years. Where did I come from? Which relates to spirituality. And only recently have we begun to ask, who or what am I? And that relates to science. But more commonly, in the past 100 years or so, has the question become, what can I be? Now, this last question is the most evolved, and it gives us the greatest power over our experience of daily life and what that means in the long run. And this is at the heart of the New Thought movement. The inner world and the outer world are interdependent. So as these ideologies converge, we're looking at consciousness. The answer to these questions that each one of these disciplines ask lies in the definition of consciousness. And in fact, at the core of each of these disciplines is the one answer, consciousness. So to address the question, is radical change really possible for people? The answer is a resounding yes. And we can do that by controlling our consciousness. By controlling consciousness, we can affect permanent, lasting, positive change. And
Liv, what does it mean to control consciousness? And is there a practical application for tapping into this mind power?
Yes. Well, I mentioned that we are subject to an inner and an outer world, and I'm talking here about the conscious state of mind and the subconscious. Your conscious mind is responsible for all the choices you make about how to think, feel, and act. It's the volitional part of you, the thing that makes you get out of bed in the morning and makes all the other choices that come after that deliberate act. Your conscious mind is responsible for all of your autonomic functions, your breathing, your heart rate, in fact, the beating of your heart. These are all controlled by your subconscious mind. In fact, the role of your subconscious is to keep you safe and alive, to keep you comfortable, and to ensure that your basic needs are met. But it's naturally predisposed to resist change, because change is often perceived as a threat. So your conscious or your subconscious mind is also responsible for those knee-jerk reactions that you have in different situations, the fight or flight response, your experience in times of stress, the impulsive behaviors and habits that you have. Those unconscious behaviors that, frankly, we all engage in at various times. These are all functions of the subconscious mind. Now, to tie this into controlling consciousness and its practical applications, there's a governor on the subconscious mind. It's a kind of gatekeeper, and that is your conscious mind. Your conscious mind directs your subconscious, so it's controllable. And what this means is that every single one of us has the ability to choose what we believe about a given circumstance, choose what that circumstance means, and choose how we elect to respond to it. So even though our response may be habitual, stemming from subconscious triggers, we can consciously choose to change the habit. So whether we're talking about health in the human body, or managing pain, or losing weight, or accomplishing a list of very lofty business goals, all of this is possible by strategically managing what we hold in our subconscious mind. And of course, there's a process involved. Once we understand the process, well, the whole thing becomes doable. And what that means is that there is an abundance of practical applications for controlling consciousness. And it all points to what you as an individual value and the results that you want to see in your life. And it all comes down to how you want to spend your time after you get out of bed in the morning. Once you learn to control your consciousness, then the practical applications are academic.
So how can someone, starting today, control their consciousness and use mind power to make radical or even subtle changes in their life?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
I want to know it.
So learning to do this on your own can take a lifetime. In fact, I've spent a great deal of my own life working on the answer to this question. And it wasn't until I came across a common theme in my efforts that I really started to get results. And it was at that point when I realized I could leverage techniques that other people had developed through the ages. And I'll get to that in a minute. But first, I want to explain a couple of basics, or else my answer really won't make any sense here. So you may think, and a lot of people do think, that there are only two levels of consciousness. There's, or alertness, let's call it. So there's the state of being asleep, and there's the state of being awake. But really, there are 5 levels. There's the gamma level, beta, alpha, theta, and delta. And these states are governed by the vibratory rate of your brain waves. Literally, how fast your brain is vibrating. So at the highest state, the gamma state, you're either extremely on, like an athlete in times of peak performance, or you could be extremely agitated or nervous or having a panic attack. So the gamma state is that very high state of frequency. And at the lowest level, which is delta, the delta state, you are out. You're in a deep, dreamless sleep, and you have no conscious awareness of what's going on around you. So when you're in a beta state, which is the second highest level, your conscious mind is very active, and it's making judgments about what you experience. It's the state that you and I are in right now, just regular
focused,
wakefulness.
engaged. Yeah,
absolutely. So, but it's critical of everything that you see, hear, feel, taste, smell. Your conscious mind is making judgments all the time, and those assessments are being entrained in your brain through repetition. Your brain is forming new neural pathways, and you're feeding messages into your subconscious mind. So when you're in a light sleep, or even when you're just slightly dazed, as is the case when you've been driving for a long time, or working on your computer for a while, or doing other repetitive tasks, your conscious mind gets out of the way. It's like the gatekeeper goes to sleep, and this leaves the subconscious wide open to suggestion. This is the hypnotic state. So if the suggestion takes hold through repetition, or simply through a lack of resistance, then that can form a new thought pattern, a new judgment around the experience, and that results in a new understanding and even a new type of behavior. Now, it may sound a little vague or academic, but it really does have a practical application. And when you choose to open yourself up to the power of suggestion, you choose to harness the power of consciousness. And that's when radical change becomes possible. Now, this is really powerful stuff.
Yeah,
we are talking about hypnosis here.
Yeah. No,
and we're talking about tapping into the core of your behaviors and shifting the meanings of events in your past, your present, your future. Hypnosis and meditation are the tools that are used to shift consciousness and affect radical change. Your results come from your actions, which stem from your beliefs, which stem from your values, which spring from your philosophy. And when you get clear about your values, you can create a dynamic shift in your results by tapping into your belief systems. So if you value your health, you can modify your beliefs at a core level to get the results of smoking cessation or achieving your ideal weight. This is so powerful. I can't emphasize that enough. While it's possible to manage this work on your own, the consequences of making a mistake, frankly, are pretty risky. And just as you wouldn't let a 5-year-old child fix the brakes on your car, you want to make sure that you're only trusting a qualified professional with the contents of your head. Right?
Yeah,
I'm speaking about, I'm speaking with the voice of experience here. And before I became a certified hypnotist and life coach, I did some experiments with hypnosis on my own. And to be specific, I trusted some pretty unqualified professionals to craft hypnotic suggestions for me. And, well, to put it mildly, the results were pretty catastrophic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's important to follow.
That's a strong word for it.
It is. Well, my subconscious mind interpreted something in a way that I did not intend.
Wow. And
the results were nothing short of catastrophe. So I understand from a personal point of view how important it is to use a certain level of expertise in hypnosis. It's important to follow those certain rules and also to use techniques that are proven to be safe and effective. And now, I cover these techniques in a host of audio programs that I do make available on my website. And besides this training, I also offer hypnosis audios so that anyone can control their states of consciousness and affect radical change in their life.
Well, absolutely fascinating to hear. First of all, I never understood, all of this, how the subconscious and conscious and these different stages. It totally kind of sheds a new light on this whole process, and understanding the science behind it. Makes a lot of that sort of mysterious side of hypnosis make a lot of sense. Liv, we got to have you on the show again sometime soon. You have so much to offer our audience. Thanks very much for joining.
Oh, thank you. It's really a pleasure to be here. I appreciate it.
We've been speaking with Liv Montgomery. She's a speaker and author, and her website, check it out. Very interesting, livmontgomery.com. Thanks, everyone, for watching.